In this video, I will be discussing the summary of the Donner Party, whose story of disaster both fascinated and defined the dangers of westward travels of the time. During the 19th century, masses of individuals in the United States and the rest of the world would head west to seek glory, independence, and liberty in the untamed territories. Despite the dangerous nature of the travels, what was promised on the other side of the Sierra Nevada mountains seemed worth the burden. Individuals encouraged immigrants to seek out the adventure, including a man by the name of Lansford Hastings. Hastings owned large quantities of land in the region and wrote the book titled The Emigrant's Guide to Oregon and California to help entice them to travel west and buy up the land he owned. He had written about his new route off the California Trail that he claimed was the most direct route from the Midwest to California, and soon the Donner Party would fall victim to this false shortcut. The Donner Party itself was a collective of 3 families, led by George Donner and James Reed. The total party consisted of 83 members, but not one individual in the entire group had experience or knowledge that the trip would require of them. They left Independence, Missouri, the beginning of the Oregon Trail, on May 12, 1846 in hopes of a better life. By the last day of August, they had reached the Great Salt Lake Desert, a waterless stretch that ultimately was twice as far as Hastings had led them to believe. By the 3rd day crossing, they were now without water, and the oxen refused to keep pulling without it, and ran off, forcing them to continue with less supplies on foot. By the time the groups reached the summit of the Sierra Nevada mountains, it is now early November, and for the first time during their travel, snow falls on the party. As the Donners attempt to make their first pass over the steep mountains, they are met with 5 feet of snow, much too deep for their wagons. Members are now dying left and right of various illnesses, and on December 26, 1846, with their resources all but perishing, the surviving group finally succumbs to cannibalism. News has now been passed by individuals who have been able to reach surrounding camps. There is a stuck party near a lake who have been forced to eat several members of their group to survive the harsh and constant snow. There is very little aid available to them for rescue because the Mexican-American War has taken the bulk of resources. It is not until February 22, 1847 that the first relief group, organized by John Sutter and James Reed, who had reached Sutter's Fort after being banished by the group, reached the Donner Party. 23 able-bodied individuals are rescued from the Donner Lake camp and are escorted back to California down the mountain. Of the 83 members who were in the Donner Party, only 45 of them ultimately made it to their original destination. This tragic story has a lot to say about the time. The determination these members must have felt to continue on, the ability to do anything they had to live another day, and to see the West ultimately encapsulates what America was like at the time. No matter the danger or mystery, no matter how large the obstacle seemed, because of man's desire and the true belief in manifest destiny, settlers like the Donner Party showed what humans are willing to do to survive, both great and terrible. Thank you.